Hey guys, welcome to day 30 of manifestation inner work. Today is the last day of manifestation inner work, and so today I'm actually gonna end with a banger, and I've got all my notes down here. This is about how to manifest from a regulated state to be able to actually call in the manifestation easily and effortlessly, and actually you're going to be able to keep it as well, as long as you are fully regulated in the nervous system. The reason I never really talk about this is because it is a process. You guys know that half of us, like 90% of us rather, not half, are dysregulated on a daily basis, and that's why we find it so hard to do certain things, getting out of our comfort zone, the discipline. It's because our nervous system is just fried by all of the information out of there, and I have had to be very strict in the last few months with regulating my nervous system, with how much content I actually take in on a daily basis. And I've had to be very strict and started to do physically nothing after 7 p.m. because else I will be watching YouTube videos on inner work all night long. I'll be journaling and I'll discover a shadow at 10 p.m. at night, and I have had to calm down with that a lot. So if you see yourself doing those same patterns, you're probably also dysregulated just like I was. First of all, not even related to manifestation, but this is how I kind of got rid of my ADHD symptoms. I was actually ADHD on paper, bear in mind, and dyslexic as per my university, and I'm no longer dyslexic or ADHD because I regulated my nervous system, and that is truly how powerful it actually is. And when I was dysregulated, I was also addicted to caffeine and sugar because they also helped me stay in that brainwave state of like hyperactiveness. And a lot of us rely on caffeine every single day. So the second I quit out caffeine, in fact, I now have my matcha every single day and have done for like over a year now. And this is just natural, slow releasing caffeine now, and nowhere near as much as an energy drink. This has helped me manifest as well. Like matcha is so good for you, but that's for another day. So I'm just going to give you a few reasons why manifesting from a regulated state is actually so important. And then I'm going to give you two of the easiest techniques that you can do right now after this video, or even whilst you're watching the video, to be able to regulate yourself right now and really start tapping into what it feels like to be fully calm and in the moment. And one of the techniques is going to be about manifesting. So first I'm going to teach you a way to regulate in the moment, then I'm going to teach you how to manifest in that regulated state, like the thing to actually keep you regulated and manifesting at the same time. So those I'll give you afterwards. So first of all then, like I said, my notes are over here. Ignore the background. We're finishing redoing this room. Finally, you're not going to see those paint marks on the wall anymore. They were actually over here, so I'm like, my desk used to be here. So yeah, ignore those. That's why I've got it on the cinematic mode so you can't see. But first of all, right, when you're in a high dysregulated state, you're in like the alpha, beta kind of brainwave state where you're constantly like thinking. Like imagine the brainwaves, and they're like really just like thinking all the time, like constantly thinking, and you're way more likely when you're in this state. There's like this high adrenaline state essentially, like you're low-key fight or flighting all the time. When you're in the high adrenaline state, what comes with adrenaline? Usually cortisol. So we are usually in this fight or flight, low-grade cortisol level when we're at work, when we're in our masculine energy. If you're a feminine energy being and you're in your masculine state, it's usually quite dysregulating, and a lot of us don't get out of that masculine energetic dysregulated state. Like we come home and it kind of pours into our personal life and also our manifestation life. So when we want to actually drop into our body and drop into our feminine receiving energy to manifest, we can't because we're super dysregulated and still in our headspace. And so here's a way, if you're manifesting or you're trying to achieve your dream life, if you're constantly needing the motivation and you're constantly needing that hyped up, pumped up state to be able to then get into the manifesting state, or to be able to then create your content to get paid to exist, to do the things that you want to do to achieve your dream life, if you require that pumped up, heart racing, yeah, ready to go, like proper just like action bros, girl boss mentality, then the likelihood is then in that state you are actually dysregulated. So for me, I used to drink energy drinks all the time. I drink 2 a day, even though they were only small ones, but they were full of sugar and full of caffeine, which causes cortisol and therefore dysregulation. So if I needed to film a video even a year ago, right, I would go and get an energy drink and I'd get myself pumped up and I'd probably be like just talking so fast and like, you know, I'd come out with a lot of good information, right? But it wasn't coming from a good place. And you could tell I wasn't embodied in what I was really talking about. I was just kind of giving you ideas and stuff like that. I wasn't really embodied and didn't really know actually that I was dysregulated. I had no idea about manifesting from a dysregulated state. I was more so the beginner manifester, where I would manifest using techniques, which again, they're just surface level things. So when you're like this, your heart is racing and it's not a good way to manifest. You're way more likely to come up with reasons as to why you think it's not going to happen. When you're in your headspace, you're thinking, what do other people think? And you're way more likely to be attached to the manifestation as well, purely just because of how fast your heart and your mind is racing when you're in this high adrenaline state, which is dysregulation. And also, what you're actually doing if you're running your business out of this regulated state is you're constantly outside of your comfort zone, but not in a way that's going to expand you, because you're not actually doing the things to regulate yourself and therefore expand your rubber band. There's 2 ways of doing it. First of all, like if you're manifesting and living your business in this dysregulated state and you're actually outside of your comfort zone, constantly dysregulated, but you're not doing anything about it, then that's how your business is going to be running. You're always going to need the cup of coffee in the morning. You're always going to need the next adrenaline rush and what's new in my business to stay interested in it. Again, with the manifestation, what's the next thing? Am I going to finally feel awesome when I get the next manifestation, right? Versus actually being dysregulated, getting outside of your comfort zone, amazing, but then you do the regulation techniques so that then you regulate yourself in the business, in the manifestation, and now that's your new norm. You're completely regulated in this super next high step, and you're like, okay, this is my new norm now. I'm super calm, I'm super regulated. What's next? That's the correct way to do it. That's the correct way to step out of your comfort zone and expand your manifestation rubber band. By doing the things that are outside of your comfort zone, getting yourself in that area of discomfort, but then regulating yourself so that now that's the new norm. Instead of staying over here where you're constantly dysregulated and every time you do it, you're not getting anywhere. It's like this big hamster wheel, right? So that's what's happening, and that's why a lot of people don't achieve their dream life. They're just living the dream life that's full of dysregulations, full of that masculine head energy, and they're never really manifesting. It's all just done through effort. Like, I did it through XYZ. I set a goal and I achieved the goal, rather than like allowing it to just be received through the calm, the knowing, the grounded state. When you're in the brain, so here's why manifesting in the regular state is actually going to be amazing for you, and then I'm going to give you those 2 techniques. So manifesting from the regulated state tells the brain it's safe. And you guys know that the number 1 reason why we don't achieve something usually is because we think it's unsafe. Like, our subconscious mind is actively sabotaging us because it sees it as unsafe, because it's unknown, outside of the comfort zone. It's unpredictable, so it sees it as unsafe. When you're regulated and you start doing your techniques regulated and you start priming your self-concept with the new identity from a regulated state, you're telling your mind it's safe. And so therefore, you will always be able to reframe your identity and reframe your self-concept a lot easier than if you was to just keep doing it from a dysregulated state. Dysregulation is unsafe. Dysregulation is fight or flight. Regulated, grounded is gonna literally cause those neural pathways to just fuse together, and that new identity is gonna be you within no time. Secondly, nervous system regulation is, I already said that. Nervous system regulation is also going to allow you to believe that it's possible a lot easier, because when you're regulated and you're grounded and you're in that body state, your logic is turned off. You're completely calm and your mind isn't racing a million thoughts at 1,000,000 miles an hour. You're completely relaxed. So it's so much easier. This is the easiest way to actually detach and also believe that it's possible, is just constantly making sure you're regulated, like multiple times a day. And when you're regulated, it's going to be so much easier to be grateful and be in the tune of love and abundance. So again, if you're really struggling to do affirmations because your mind is just not taking it on, like I've had clients before where they're like, affirmations just don't work for me, like I don't know why they're just not going in and they're not altering my self-concept. And it's essentially because you're probably dysregulated, and so therefore your self-concept and your identity is on this guarded mode. It's like protect. Whatever your affirmations you're trying to give it, it's unsafe. Changing is unsafe. We're staying in fight or flight, and I'm not going to take on any of the affirmations, any of the visualizations. Whereas if you're that regulated, your body is safe, grounded, and it knows it's safe then to imagine this new self, to take on this new identity. And so therefore the affirmations will go straight in, and you will be able to change that self-concept and align with that new identity instantly, as long as you are in this calm, regulated state. And you will notice that I teach regulation secretly in every single video without realizing and without really saying it, because nervous system regulation, if I said that straight up, people would be like, okay, what even is it? But you'll notice that in every single video I teach you how to get into your body, I teach you how to detach, and I teach you how to get into the receiving frequency, how to get into the abundance mindset, and how to retrain your identity. And through doing all of these things, I teach you how to actually regulate in those ways. So how to detach, to get calm and back into your body, and to practice gratitude. That is you regulating. How to get on the abundance frequency. You meditate. You think about things you love. You're regulated. So I actually teach it in every single thing that I talk about. But this is more specific right now. So these are the two things, right? First of all, this is the technique that I have been using recently to instantly regulate in the moment, like straight away, instantly calms me down. And so basically it's something, I don't know the actual name of it, but essentially you go like this. It's called the butterfly tapping, I think. But you go like this, you hook your two thumbs like this, and you put them on your chest. Don't know what the noise is. And essentially you begin tapping both sides of your chest. And what this does is it activates both sides of your brain. So here you're activating this side, here you're activating this side of your brain. You're activating both sides of your brain by tapping here like this. And this is getting your brain into that regulated state, that regulated parasympathetic nervous system state. Like it's activating all of those nerves in your body. This instantly, for some reason, I just can't think of anything else other than my body when I'm doing this. Especially if you close your eyes, it's very hard to focus on anything else other than the literal. It's almost like a little massage other than the thuds on your body. Like it's very hard. Like you just instantly, your head is just straight into your body and you feel very calm. The longer you sit in that body state doing this, the longer you sit in that body, the longer and the more regulated you get. And it's almost like a meditative state. Like if you did this for long enough, you would genuinely drop into the theta brainwave state. So that's something I've been doing recently. And then the second thing you can do now, this is a bad place for me to sit because I can see outside of the doors and I can see onto the street and everything and who's coming to my door and walking past my house and everything. So it's so distracting. And so The last thing that we're going to do is the top, there's two, but I'm going to say this one, I'm also going to say the other one. The top manifestation techniques that you can use in the regulated state. So first of all, get yourself into that regulated state. Try the butterflies. Also, you can try and meditate. So practice on deep breathe through your nose, out through your mouth to calm down those cortisol levels and lower your heart rate physiologically. And then doing these, doing those for a few minutes, and then you're meditating, and then going into scripting. So when you are scripting from a regulated state, again, it's not just scripting, it's regulating with the inner work related to it, which is the nervous system regulation. So after you've done this, going into scripting, you are literally, your mind is like completely just silent. There's no thoughts. There is no blocks. Your subconscious is quiet. It's asleep. Pretend it's asleep. It's just completely nothingness. So therefore, this is the moments where it's the most permeable. So it's like when you're going to bed and you do Neville Goddard's SATs, or you wake up first thing in the morning and you're in that theta brainwave state where your mind is just really permeable. This is what you're getting yourself into now. So you're likely going to be getting yourself into that same theta brainwave state that you get yourself into when you're sleeping and when you're waking up. That's what you do when you regulate. And so now you're in this theta brainwave state, this super calm meditative state. Now when you go and script your new life as if it's already happened, I am so happy that I'm making these videos today. I am so excited to be working with these new dream clients. I've finally hit those 10K months, you know, whatever that is for you. Your mind is just gonna, like, literally reprogrammed so easily when you are regulated all of the time. And this is just one of the ways to regulate in that specific moment. Obviously, either do this more often or research more regulation ways in order to get yourself regulated 24 hours a day, okay? But this butterfly tapping one is going to be really, really good. Use it multiple times a day if you need to. And then scripting, again, your self-concept is just going to be so permeable. It's going to be ready to just suck it all in. And because your body is so safe and grounded, there's no self-concept, shadows and subconscious ready to like interfere and be like, no, this isn't possible for you. Oh, are you sure that's going to happen? And all the other things that are running through your mind when you're usually scripting. And so also scripting, the other version of this is obviously visualizing. So if you prefer to visualize rather than script, again, this is the reason why when you go on YouTube, people will always get you to do some sort of meditation. Usually if it's a good track, then they'll usually get you to meditate first. Not all of them do this, but again, the good ones will get you to meditate first before you get into the visualizing your dream life, because meditating is the best and most popular way to regulate yourself before you do any sort of manifestation. So it's very important to regulate before you do your manifestation techniques even. But then the second step of that is obviously regulating yourself throughout the day, because that is when you're going to be actually embodying your new self. That is when you're actually going to be focusing on aligning your vibration with the new version of you. It's not just through the techniques day and night, and then afterwards we just let ourselves go AWOL, we let the shadows run wild, we let ourselves be dysregulated. That's what a lot of people do, and that's the missing piece of the puzzle, is that they're only doing this thing rather than like the whole life elevation, right? So yeah, butterfly taps and then scripting from the regulated state is going to get your brain into that state of like, what is even the difference? Like, this is already happening, right? It doesn't know the difference at that rate because it's so regulated. It's just, that is the vibration. It's so much easier to get into a good vibration when you're just neutral vibration. When you're just regulated and calm, it's so much easier to manifest and get in that super excited and like peaceful but pure bliss state of your manifestation when you start calm. I've tried to manifest from a place of like force, like, oh, I gotta do it, like I can't just not do it, I'm feeling a bit sad right now, I'm feeling a bit down, but I'm still gonna do it anyways, and I just can't shift the frequency unless I actually tap into the sadness, let it run wild, and then I'm regulated. So if you want even more, like the full training, I've got a whole hour and a half training on how to expand your manifestation rubber band. That includes like all of the in the moment shift you can do in the moment to regulate yourself and expand that rubber band so it actually sits like this and it doesn't keep getting contracted because you pushing off the blocks, pushing off the resistance, and then going back into the resistance of dysregulated. So what most people do is they'll manifest, and then when their blocks and the resistance comes up and they're like, oh my god, would this really happen? They push it off and they're like, nope, imagine. Light work. More affirmations, it's gonna go away. And they don't get rid of it because they don't face the block. They don't face the thing that they need to overcome to get to the other side. They push it away and then they wonder why they continuously are wavering, continuously don't think it's possible, continuously think bad things are going to happen, and continuously let their subconscious believe that this manifestation is unsafe. And then that's why it doesn't happen. Whereas in the masterclass, like it's this whole hour and a half, one with the in the moment shifts, when you do the regulation work, your rubber band is stretching when the blocks come up and the resistance come up. And then instead of going like this, back down here again by pushing it away, you're sitting with it. You're regulating yourself through techniques like the butterfly method, through things like meditations. I don't mention meditation in here because it's a very common one, and I'm more into the deeper stuff that no one really talks about. So I can do this literally at the gym, for instance. Like I can regulate myself at the gym. I could regulate myself in Asda. I can't really meditate in Asda, so these are more of those everyday techniques. And so therefore you regulate and you sit with the new level of you being in this new life. You sit with the thing of like, oh, what if it doesn't happen? Like I'm really attached now. What if it doesn't happen? Now I'm feeling terrible. You sit with it. You do the regulation, you get yourself back to zero. Then I teach you even how to get back into the gratitude frequency, the abundance frequency. I teach you how to get all the way back up here so that now your new norm is this. This is your rubber band now. This is what you can hold. And therefore then you can manifest through each stage, each level, each new identity easily because you have the techniques to expand and therefore grow without letting all the blocks push you back down, right? And yes, it is uncomfortable. You have to sit with it, right? But that is the only way that we grow, is by allowing the discomfort to become the new norm. So yeah, I hope you have a lovely day. Good job. I'm just ending it now because the ring light has gone off. Yeah, I will see you in a couple of days now, and hope you like the whole manifestation inner work 30 days. I'm gonna get on to recording some more extra trainings now for Paid to Exist, because I added a section the other day called bonus inner work, and this is just all the extra inner work that you can do once you're already working on getting paid to exist, once you're already aligned with that dream business, you've done the shadow work, you've done the self-discovery, you know what your purpose is, you're working on it. And so those are the trainings that I'm filming at the moment. It's just extra inner work stuff, extra shadows that I've keep seeing people having and working on, and like everyone seems to have the same thing, like what I call the positive conditioning shadow, and just making sure people are aware of all these different things that can come up now that they're living in their paid to exist life or working on it. So super excited, like I literally love filming all of those trainings. But yeah, so I'll see you in a few days time. Also, if you're still watching, I'm doing a birthday sale on Paid to Exist when it's my birthday. So my birthday is 27th of May. I'm actually going to be 27. And that week I'm going to do a whole birthday sale on Paid to Exist and also the manifestation rubber band. Also, I'm going to actually be adding in, for those of you that wait till the end, some private one-on-one coaching as well for those of you that buy on my birthday week in the sale. I haven't done one-on-one since like November. Now, whilst I've been focusing on teaching Paid to Exist and all of those things like the mini masterclasses, and also been focusing on YouTube. So I'm going to open up some spots for one-on-one. I don't know how many it will be, but when you buy Paid to Exist, it will come with the one-on-one coaching as well. I don't know how many hours of one-on-one or the intricacies like that, but just, you know, keep an eye out, and I'll be announcing it at the beginning of one of my videos coming up, because I keep forgetting to mention it and then it gets to the end of the video like now and I'm like, actually I've got something to tell you. So yeah, whatever week that is, 27th of May week, I'm going to be doing the birthday sale on Paid to Exist and the Manifestation Rubber Band Masterclass. So if you've been eyeing up the masterclass as per this video, then best time we'll get it is to get it then. I might do like an offer where all the Paid to Exist plus the Manifestation Rubber Band plus the coaching, it's just going to be all included in one. That might be a good idea. But yeah, so I hope you have a lovely day. I'll see you in the next one in a couple of days. Bye guys.